Also, can we talk about how upsetting? You guys can't see, but the bunny looks like somebody was like, "Hey, can you paint a bunny? Have you ever seen a rabbit before?" Of course I can. Okay.
I love how we're staring at it and we're recording. Like, we're just staring at the poster.
We're such fucking assholes.
Listen, so
we have not slept enough, in case you can't tell. Oh, correction. I haven't slept enough. Sarah doesn't sleep because she's not a real person.
Unlike other people we don't know.
Fuck you.
Cheers. Anyway.
You know what we haven't done? Our intro.
True to form.
True to form. How far are we into the recording?
15 and a half minutes.
That's not too bad. That's not worse than usual.
So for anyone that's new tuning in, we're the Living Understaffed podcast. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Erika.
This is the chaos we can't clock out of.
And we are at Lit Libations.
Spirit fingers. Amen, guys. So
in Kansas City by Casey Bookbeat. They're wonderful. Trisha Otis was in a previous episode. She's a delight.
Hands down. Also, anything that she is in, we've had multiple people comment on videos, on posts that they're like, Trisha is the nicest person ever. She literally is so cool. She's literally so awesome and she does everything for everybody else. Mm-hmm. Trisha, first of all, we thank you.
Yes.
So we're at Lit Libations right now.
Yes.
Which is okay, so the poster that they just put up is an Alice in Wonderland theme. Are you okay?
Yes. Just drop my phone.
So we got here yesterday and we started setting up, and you guys, so I was at Lit Libations in the fall of last year and I had so much fun. I was here with author Meg Becker, who is the smut peddler. We love her.
Not only is she lovely, but her smut is also fantastic. I will never get over Tasting Sin
for the rest of my life. The Butterfly series is it is excellent. It is pristine, but her universe is all connected and it just makes me so happy. All of these crazy little details that she's remembering, and like this person didn't get their day in the spotlight. So I'm going to write a whole ass book about them.
Yes. Or two characters that like you met in previous books, even if they're not from the same book.
Correct.
And then you're like,
excuse me. And then all of these little details come together. So we had this crazy long conversation when I drove to Des Moines the other night because she was talking about the book that she's working on right now and kind of what the rest of the series is going to look like. Because we are huge fans of Tasting Sin. Huge. She also offered, so maybe I'm putting it out there, but she also offered for us to do another book club month because she's an indie author. Mm-hmm. So we'll put her in the rotation for book club and she will come and talk to us and talk to the group on Discord. Now, this also means for you and me that we need to actually have our shit together to get on Discord on the day and time that we selected for book club night.
We're the worst.
We have missed the last 3 months.
Yes.
Sorry? Again. What do you say to that? How do you apologize for being understaffed?
I mean, I would say do better, but we're not.
We're not going to. It won't happen.
No, if anything, I'm like, I had a great idea. Do you want to be busier? Do you want to add something else to our plate? It's like, I know we don't have a spare second in our lives, but why don't we do a quarterly newsletter?
Correct. Also, let's buy a whole other side business.
Yeah.
And start running events.
Yeah. Also, let's do an LLC and start
real estate investing.
Yeah. We're going to build an empire. Don't worry.
We are going to build an empire. And we'll just hire an assistant one day. Or we won't because we're control freaks and we're going to do it all by ourselves.
I was thinking about that. I was like, what was I? I was thinking about something. Oh, when you were like, oh, let's be on a family plan together. And I'm like, yes, but then I would not be in control of my own phone plan. And I don't know how I feel about that. I know it'll be fine, but I'm like,
honestly, that wasn't even my thought process.
I know.
It didn't even occur to me.
Would it save me money? Absolutely. Do I trust you implicitly? I trust you with my life. Of course I trust you with my cell phone internet connection. Those two things are on the same level, by the way. Without internet, is life really worth living?
Honestly, we wouldn't have the podcast if we didn't have internet.
Yes.
Also, the upload speed in Kansas City compared to the woods that I live in is bananas. I am Alice in Wonderland because, oh my God, Kansas City has real 5G plus and not Lost in the Forest 3G and a half.
I know it's a first world problem, but seriously, it's like internet from 20 years ago.
Making a terrible joke. There are parts of Africa that have better internet than I do in the woods in Missouri.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
That's not fair.
No. To be fair, it was a little political, but I'm going to say it anyway because you're going to find it funny and you can cut it out. I was like, there are parts of Africa that have better vaccine rates than parts of America. So,
but will I leave it in there because you're correct? Yes.
I'm Angel Edenburn, author and owner of Lost Aardvarks Press. I write paranormal romance and urban fantasy set in Kansas, Missouri, and the greater KC area. My vampire and werewolf heroines are a little older, curvy, and have sass. These books offer a small town feel combined with big city action. Gals with guns, fast cars, motorcycles, spice with class, and some messy situations contribute to my unique writing style. Not your typical vampires. These are gritty, street-fighting brawlers, turning the genre on its head. My newest book, Second Time Around, follows 3 characters over several years. It's available in paperback or ebook through Ingram Spark or Kindle. You can find me at lostaardvarkspress.com or on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram.
Gordo is texting. Hello, Gordo. Hello. Greg.
Hello, Greg. Hello, Greg.
I did make a promise to a coworker.
God, Greg. What is wrong with me?
He is a hype man.
Greg.
Also, he has 3 G's in his name, not 2. That I was flabbergasted.
Greg. Oh my God.
When you said that, you were like, also, you have 3 G's in your name and not 2. And I turned, we were in the hotel, and she says this to me, and I was like, no,
oh my God.
Oh, that was amazing. It was amazing.
Yeah.
I made a promise to a coworker this week. So we had a student that, cause we're very sarcastic with the students, and we play games, and we're always messing, like the staff, we're always messing with each other. And then we loop in a student like, come help me, And so this one kid, he's great. He's hilarious. But my coworker, the sergeant, he was like, she's being so mean to me. And he does this all the time where I'm like, cause I get defensive. I'm like, I am not mean ever.
I'm a very nice person.
I am so nice. And he does it on purpose. I know he does it. And in my head, I know that I'm not mean, but I still have to defend myself.
Yes.
Psychological bullshit. So he says, she's being so mean to me. Get over here. Help me. She's being mean to me. And I was like, I'm not being mean to him. So he goes, you need to apologize. You need to apologize on your podcast. Sergeant Ames, sir, I'm sorry. But I am not mean to you. Like, ever.
What does your profile picture say?
Shut the fuck
up. Meanwhile, I am mean. But I maintain that it's deserved.
But why are you mean to me?
I'm never mean to you. I'm a delight.
After I just bullied you into video calling someone, I am also not nice to you sometimes.
That's fair.
Do we need it?
Yes.
Do we deserve it?
Here's the thing. We do not need to be left up to our own devices because we are both completely delusional about what we are capable of and what is actually happening in the world around us. And sometimes we need someone to be like, bitch.
True.
You need to sleep,
Hands
drink
down.
some water, and stop texting that guy. He's terrible.
Can we also talk about the fact that I get pure joy out of you calling me daddy?
Yes. She makes me drink water. She tells me she's proud of me. That's literally all it takes. If you want to be my daddy.
We did make the comment. This was North Carolina over Valentine's Day, I think. We made the comment that she was like, in dating, you have to be a better boyfriend than Sarah. And I was like,
yeah, you need to put air in my tires, first of all. You need to take me out, make sure I drink water, refill my water for me, open doors for me.
First of all, can we just talk about how that's a normal human thing that needs to be more normalized? Honestly.
Buy me
book earrings.
Yes.
Oh my God, they're so cute. So I know that I say these things, but I'm saying it out loud also because when I edit the podcast, I'm like, oh yeah, I need to do that. I'm going to superimpose a picture of this actual backdrop when we talked about it, a few minutes ago. But I'm also going to superimpose a picture of the earrings because they're super cute.
They are super cute. Also, can we talk about the fact that you gave these to me?
3 years ago.
3 years ago when I was still living in Missouri. And we, I think we became better friends. We became really good friends, literally a month before I left. And we were there together for 3 years.
Yeah.
And we are the same person. We have ordered the same thing everywhere we've gone to eat. The amount of times we're just like, who are you?
Wow, my bra is rogue right now. If we talk about also, we're the same person, but we date very differently.
Which is ironic because we also had the same husband.
We married the same
It traumatized us in different ways.
Yes. And now our flavors, our spices that we choose are vastly different, which I think that's kind of a growing point when you are in a relationship with someone for a long time, that you're also willing to be more adventurous outside of that because that is what you know. But I think that that's a testament to our personality because there are some people who have their comfort level and they stick with it. This is the tunnel that I live in because I know it and I'm comfortable with it, regardless of trauma or indifference.
Yeah. And I think also I know you did this too. When you get out of the relationship, you're just oh my God, somebody is giving me the tiniest crumb of affection that I don't have to beg for. This is the best. I will forgive all of these other things. And I did that for a while. And now I'm sort of at the point where if I'm going to entertain you in any way, you have to tell me how hot I am all the time. You have to treat me like the princess I am.
I'm sorry,
or I don't want it.
You set a boundary?
You know what? I'm learning.
What the fuck?
I know. It's wild.
It is wild.
And you know what? They act accordingly.
As they should. Because
if I'm I want you to buy me flowers and they're not obviously that's the bare minimum, I'm going to be I spent 12 years trying to convince a man to buy me gas station carnations. And I want to be loved like a Hosier song, or I want nothing. I want undying devotion or nothing.
We did talk about this yesterday, but last night when we were finishing prep for the show today, we were cutting out little papers and putting things together. We had gone to Walmart and spent obviously way too much money because that's who we are.
Spending money is a hobby that I need to let go of. Yes.
I need to undo. So we were finishing prep and Erika had to go to sleep because sweet baby girl needs way more sleep than I do.
I'm a sleepy lady. To be fair, all the sleep that Sarah does not have, she gives to me, and I sleep too much.
I mean, you did almost sleep for 10 hours last night.
Yeah. And I took a nap.
Yeah. We both did take a nap yesterday. Naps are underrated. And as an adult, I feel like every single adult probably thinks this at some point in their life, but I'm sorry for every single nap that I fought as a kid.
Same.
I'm throwing that
Actually, no, I never fought naps. I have been using it as a trauma response my entire life. My parents still talk about it, and they're like, haha, it's so funny how whenever you were sad or we're going through something, you just take a nap, or you got hurt, you would just take a nap. And I was like, wow, guys.
If we didn't have a show in the next couple of hours, I'd throw this entire fucking table across the room.
Oh, God. Yeah. No, it's amazing. I think about it sometimes and I'm like, wow, you guys didn't try at all.
Did you even parent?
You can be ashamed of yourself. That is actually entirely appropriate in this situation.
That's really funny. That's just really funny. I'm circling back. For our new listeners, for the record, 17 thoughts in a row. Have I taken Adderall today? No. So we're at Lit Libations. This event is done twice a year. KC Bookbeat puts on several events all throughout the year. They're very supportive of like the indie population of Kansas, artists, authors, individual people. Like, it's incredible. Indie bookstores, small business, they're huge supporters. So I came last year with Meg, with the Putz Meddler.
Yeah.
The Smut Peddler. Kill me. She's going to be like, what the fuck? And Meg and I have been friends for a long time. And so I was coming up to Kansas City. She had the event and I was like, I'll be your PA. I'll come spend time with you. Weird. We had a great time. We had such a great time. So I ended up meeting Trisha. That's how all of this kind of unfolded, that we're the only podcast at this event. Which is really exciting.
Also, what was that?
Did you just do that? I thought you were making fun of me because I was like,
no. I do this. Okay. Side quest. In dance, I'm really bad about doing like T-Rex arms instead of like this. I'm just like, that's how I do everything, which is bad. You're not supposed to do that. Spoiler. And my sister Emma, they were talking about Emma, and whenever she's like frustrated, she like goes like this, and I'm like,
it's a family trait?
I guess so. Emma's a lot worse about it than me, but
says you, the older sister.
Fuck you.
I mean,
I forget that you are the youngest because you act like an oldest daughter.
Because I had to.
Yes, that too. You also did not have an older sister with oldest sister energy.
I did for a while. But she's 7 years older and moved out when I was...
Well, I'm 8 years older than Emma.
Yeah, so it would be the same. You moved out when she was 10. I think Rebecca left when I was like 10 or 11. So, I mean, it's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Emma is very much the baby.
She's a baller, though.
She is a baller. She's very... things that I need to like let go of is like Emma will do stuff and I'm like, that's the worst idea I have ever fucking heard in my entire life. But she's an adult. So I'm like...
So she can do this.
And I've been doing it for years, so it's not that hard now. But like at first I was like, oh my God. But she's fucking fine. She is
totally fine.
She's a grown up. Like, she fucking handles her shit.
She makes me so happy.
Oh my God. When part of my lore is my dad, who doesn't really like children, was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to
have kids.
For that. And also, I'm going to take all 3 of my children in a Eurovan on a road trip for a month. So that one exactly as well as you think it would. And one of those trips was to the Grand Canyon, which, by the way, my dad is also that like cheap sitcom dad where like we had to put in quarters for the shower. And my dad was like, well, you have to shower with Emma because I don't want to pay for a shower twice. And tried to get me to take dishes in there with me, which I would not do.
Okay.
Such a cheap
level.
You would give your last 4 quarters so that somebody else could take a shower. You would, and you would, and even if they were like, if it was me, and I'm like, I'll take some dishes in there too, you'd be like, absolutely not. You enjoy the shit out of that shower. So you do not have Howie energy at all.
And it's so funny. Like, I want that to hurt. There's a piece of me that wants my feelings to be hurt, but like, you're goddamn right. I would do that.
Yeah. Emma is one of those children where she's like, we get out of the car. She's probably like 4, maybe 5. She runs to the edge of the Grand Canyon and like looks over That right there. And I am like,
that is little sibling energy.
Yeah. And of course, like, I'm there and I'm like, called her back and I was like, oh, excuse you.
It's the Grand Canyon, boo-boo.
Yeah. Yes.
You might fall.
Yeah. She's like that to this day. She is.
Yeah.
And
you know what she does? She plays with fire and hula hoops.
Yeah, she does.
Of course she's still like that.
Yes.
She's safe about it and she's amazing. So don't think
she is safe about it.
But still, she plays with fire. She literally plays with fire. Also, we've talked about this in a previous episode, but Erika saved her from falling into...
Oh, no, she fell. I had to pull her out.
There.
Yes. Because, again, my parents are like, you're 9. Of course you can watch your siblings over around an open flame. What could possibly go wrong?
Absolutely nothing. Silly people.
The 90s were wild.
I
mean...
miss it. Do I miss it? I kind of miss it. We had the internet. And it's about the same level of internet that I have in the woods where I'm at anyway. So, like, has anything changed? No.
That's true. I do really enjoy having more civil rights. Actually, no, we have less. It depends. It depends on when in the 90s. Because remember we talked about the whole like Anita Hill thing. That was in the 90s. Monica Lewinsky, 90s.
Wade got overturned.
Yeah.
So
R.I.P.
RBG.
Mm-hmm. I still have that pen you gave me.
Damn, you're fucking right. You do. I do too. I won't use it because I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So some things are kind of similar to the 90s as well.
Yeah.
Well, that took a turn.
What is wrong with us? Let's go to the super fun thing. And also, do you want to hear a complete downer?
Also, can we also circle the fuck back around a second time? Last night, we were finishing prep for the show. I have to tell this story. We were finishing prep for the show.
I don't even know where this is going.
And we were because you talked about you want your love life to be like a Hosier song.
Yes.
So we had the wonderful Old Guard movie playing while I was cutting out QR codes and Erika was almost napping.
Rotting.
But it was lovely. First of all, the hotel did a great job taking care of us.
They did.
Thank you very much, Sean. If you ever listen to this, thank you so much because we really appreciate it. Anyway, so we're watching the Old Guard and there are 2 men that have been lovers for literal ages.
Millennia.
For those of you that have not seen this movie, I highly suggest it. It is on the supernatural level of things. And if I ever had a superpower, I want to be Charlize Theron. And I've talked about this before. I love that movie. And the second one's coming out in July. So I'm like, there's a part where the men get kidnapped by this we're going to call it paramilitia. All right, fine.
Yeah.
They are unconscious. The one wakes up and they also speak Italian to each other, which I just melt every single time I can. I love Italian. Anyway, so he's trying to wake him up in Italian. He's talking to him and he's like, are you okay? And they're they're yelling at the boys. They're yelling at them like, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Right. And it's also these guys can't speak Italian. So they're yelling at them like, quit talking. And so he's like, oh, what are you guys, lovers? Or something.
Or he's like, what are you guys, gay?
Yeah, something like that.
Or what is he, your boyfriend?
Yes. And the response, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. We were talking about like Greg, who has sent like, clips of poems from different things to Erika, which is just lovely and adorable. But like the way that this man speaks about his person, about how he's not just my boyfriend. He says he's everything and more or something like that. And I have full goosebumps literally going down my kneecap. Like every single time I'm like, this is ridiculous. And that's what I want. That right there is what I want. So you want the Hosier song? I want that scene from the Old Guard. So, sorry, the banner behind us is like slowly falling.
I love that now I have enough like
gumption,
and I'm good enough at setting boundaries that like even if I'm going to have somebody in my life, usually a man in my life, whether it's romantic or not, I you have to treat me nicely. Like, I'm not going to be like,
Correct.
oh, like, if you're a certain kind of person, that's fine. That's all you. But like, I want certain, like, you have to treat me a certain way, even if we're just like, I'm not going to, just because Sarah can't handle this. But like, I'm not going to hold men to a lower standard than my female friends. And
Correct.
if you're going to be more than my friend, I'm going to hold you to a higher standard than I hold my female friends.
Because you are going to have access to more of me than my friends do.
Exactly.
Like,
you cannot ride this ride for free.
Correct. It's one of those things too, like,
and also this is what I want. Like, I want to be loved that way. I want to be cared about in that way. I want all of those things. Like, I want to be treated a certain way or nothing.
But also, if you're going to be my person, I should be revered.
Yes.
I should be treated as such because I'm going to treat my person as such.
Like, I know we talk about like, okay, don't expect, like, I can't expect me from everyone else, but things about me that I am going to expect from my person is that, or even not my person, even if you're just auditioning to be my person, I want, because I am a really thoughtful person. Like, we were talking about it yesterday.
Correct.
Like, you, like, oh, like, let's go do something. Like, I'm the type of person where, like, I'll plan it. I'll be like, oh, this person likes this kind of food. Like, let's go to this place. Or like, this is their work schedule. Let's do it like this. Or like, this is something that's really important to them. Or like, they really like to do this. So let's do that thing.
Absolutely.
And I want that. Like, I also want like if you're my person, like if something really great happened, I want to be able to call you and be like, this thing happened and I'm really excited about it. Or like, from having a bad day, I want to be able to be like, can I come over, or will you come over here and just like give me a hug? Because that's the type of person that I am.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can't do that, I don't.
And
because it's going to be worse. At the end of the day, given the ex-husbands that we have, we're just going to be more alone.
And more hyper independent.
Yes.
That's the issue too.
That's also the issue. Because if a guy does treat me like that, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
To myself. I say it to myself.
Yes.
Why did you allow this person to treat you this way?
Yeah.
Because I'm better than that. I have better standards than that. I have better morals than that. And I'm allowing this person in my space, in my peace, in the very tiny amount of free time that I have for what? Literally nothing. Except possibly more trauma and disappointment. So why am I, and I do that. I kind of get down on myself where I'm like, why the fuck did you allow that to happen? You know better, Sarah. Like,
I'm pretty good about not doing that, but also, you know what? Fuck you.
She puts her hair behind her ear and she's like, and the nose goes up at me. I'm pretty good about not doing that.
We did just have this conversation yesterday where I'm like, actually, he was kind of a piece of shit the whole time.
Hello?
Because you're like, yeah, I don't know at what point it changed. And I'm like, yeah, no, it was.
It was like that the entire time.
It was like that the whole time. Eventually, I was just like, wait a minute. I actually hate this.
But I actually don't do that at all.
You clearly need to do more work.
I've healed so much.
I'm basically healed.
Obviously. There's nothing wrong with me.
No.
I'm just going to fire my therapist as soon as I get home.
100%. Really, I should be her therapist at this point?
I'm actually credentialed.
Okay, I shouldn't say that because this is something we both know people in our lives that would be like,
bitch.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Well, no, I definitely have family members that would be like, oh, I don't need to go to therapy.
Cue the entire hour and a half conversation that we had about our mothers this morning.
Was it you who sent me that I think you did the reel where it was like, it's like, oops, got your mental illness, and you're like, that was a gift from my mother.
Give it back. I can't function without it, actually.
No.
I'm also not as funny without it.
True.
So this podcast wouldn't be a thing. It would be the most boring thing on the podcast.
It would be boring, and we also would not stress ourselves out as much, so it would be like one episode a month.
If at all. Because we wouldn't have any hobbies, because we would be healthy and healed.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't like that life.
No.
I think we're pretty great.
We were talking about this, like, younger me was a lot easier for everyone to be around and a lot higher functioning than healed me. Like, traumatized, not living on, like, redlining cortisol all the time.
And peanut butter M&Ms. Or peanut M&Ms.
Peanut M&Ms. Thank you.
Excuse me. Except for the mega peanut butter.
And unless,
can we talk about that?
Yes. I'm not going to get into my food preferences because they are insane. As DB Cooper said, we were talking on the phone and he sent this to me because he's like, you have to put it in the podcast because it's funny. And it is funny if I do say so myself, which I do. When I was a child,
anyway,
there was like a year where I exclusively ate Rosarita traditional refried beans out of it, like with cheese on top, cheddar cheese, mild cheddar specifically. I was like 6. I microwaved for 3 minutes specifically. And it was also the 90s, so I would like press my head up against and watch the cheese melt.
Obviously.
That could not have...
No worries.
No big deal.
Radiation?
It's fine. I'm sure it didn't do any damage.
Nothing.
And also, before that, when I was like super little, my mom would just open a can of refried beans and I would just eat it with a spoon.
Delicious.
Dude.
That's...
What?
Who are you?
Also, why would you give a small child an open can? Because it's sharp. What the Anyway.
On a real level, one of our sisters used to eat spinach out of a can. Spinach, not heated up.
Disgusting.
Absolutely awful. I don't think she does that anymore, but she's a huge fan of spinach.
I like spinach too, but not out of a can.
Fresh spinach? Yum. Out of a can?
No.
The Italians would roll in their graves.
Yes.
And we're in an Italian...
We
have to talk about that too. Anyway.
I used to eat cold veggie dogs out of the fridge. Right out of the packet.
Veggie dogs? What is that?
Like vegetarian hot dogs. Anyway.
I mean, I used to eat regular hot dogs cold out of the fridge.
That's disgusting.
Veggie dogs? It has such a weird texture. Gross.
Okay. Before you say anything about a weird texture, hot dogs?
We were poor. Okay.
The texture. Anyway, circling back all the way, we've gone all the way around. DB was talking to DB Cooper, and I was like, yeah, younger me was just mostly refried beans. And it's true.
That's okay. But look at how she turned out. She sprouted. Them beans sprouted.
I love
catchphrase.
I love a bean. I do. Also, I refer to my dog as Sweet Bean or Butterbean.
Butterbean. I say Butterbean to Oreo all the time.
Yeah, she's a Butterbean. She's shaped like a butterbean. Emma is so mean to her. She's like, Erika, she's shaped like a tube. She's like a harbor seal. She's so cute. But her like thighs are like stacked. Like she's like rippling muscle. And Emma was like,
she has to carry that tunnel around.
And Emma was like, damn. Yeah, you leave her alone.
We did talk about this on the way over to Lit Libations.
We don't body shame in this house.
Correct. We did talk about, I opened up the middle console in my car as we were driving over to the event center. I was like, ibuprofen, here's some, a roller, for like pain management and stuff. And I'm like, here's a spray that we can use. And I was like, my back already hurts from carrying around the dump truck of a personality that I have. And Erika and I are both like, correct.
Yes.
Correct. But also I am absolutely going to use that spray because we're about to be on our feet for the next
12 hours.
Roughly. Yeah. And we've already had kind of a hectic morning.
Yeah.
Trying to get ready and get over here.
That we did to ourselves.
I mean, we still left at the originally proposed time.
Roughly.
Of 11:30.
Yeah, that's true. We're also like really close to the event center.
Amen. Again, Sean, thank you for that, for the hotel, because thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Matthew Reed Williams. This is my debut novel, Somewhere. I am a KC area author, and I would love for you to check out my book. And find me on socials, Matthew Reed Williams, across my socials. My debut novel is a supernatural thriller, so if you're into horror adjacent, definitely check it out. Connect with me on socials, and I love to build the writing community, the book loving community in the Kansas City area. Hope to see you there.
I'm a huge fan of mafia romance. 100 years ago, when I lived in Houston, I would go to the bars all the time. I was also a bartender at the time, and so the bartender network, you start to know people. So
Emma is in the bartender network.
There's this one place that was like super hoppin'. Super hoppin' is really close to my favorite sushi restaurant, Japaneros. Amazing sushi. Little too pricey, but still really, really good. So I used to go like have some sushi after I got off work, and then I would pop over to this other popular bar. I would get in for free because we know all the, all the people. There was one time.
Also, eating sushi and then going out drinking is crazy.
Why? I don't understand why you're looking at me like that. Why?
Have you ever thrown up sushi before?
I have a stomach of steel. Also, I was driving, so I wasn't drinking a whole lot.
That's fair. That's fair. No. I have a stomach of steel about certain things. Like, will I eat pizza that had been sitting out all night? Absolutely, correct. I will. That's fine. I can't eat something if I don't like the idea of it.
We have already also established that your food energy versus my food energy is wildly different.
I am like an 8-year-old. I'm like, no, which is ironic because I eat like Templeton. Templeton from Charlotte's Web.
Oh, yeah, that's not what I was thinking.
What were you thinking?
Temple Grandin. That's why I was like, you can't say that. All right.
No, Templeton the Rat.
Okay. Now I know better.
Oh my God.
Or as Erika would say, whoopsie.
Whoopsies.
So I met this guy at the bar. A little bit older than me. Love that for me. Very well dressed. Had brown suede shoes, and I will never forget that because it just the image in my head. Had nice pair of slacks on, button-up shirt, but he had it, unbuttoned a little bit. Had a gold chain. Okay. And he doesn't have a Houston accent. And so, we got to talking, and I knew the bartender, so I was just sitting at the bar, and we would bullshit every time he had a chance to come over and chat. He sat next to me and, bought me a drink, and we started talking. The way that we flirted, we exchanged numbers and all that stuff, right? So we talked a little bit, and the following weekend, I went back to that bar because I know the bartender, and I was sitting there drinking, and he came up to me at one point, and he was like, have you talked to so-and-so? And I was like, no, we've been texting a little bit. We're supposed to hang out tomorrow. And he was like, and so I'm like, what do you mean? So the whole night goes by, and I'm obviously curious at this point, morbidly curious, because he straight up was like,
absolutely not. Yeah.
And so I help him close out the place. We walk out to our cars, and he was like, he's in the mafia. He's super dangerous. He might be really nice. He might buy you lots of pretty things. It might be a fun thing for a little while, but don't. And I never got more information from that. And then I ghosted him. But there's a piece of me that's wildly curious to know how different my life would be.
Yes.
Could I be a mob boss right now? A mob boss's wife?
You absolutely could.
Absolutely. I would have owned whatever industry it is. But
yeah,
on the flip side, mafia romance. We're here at an indie author event. Love that for us. Love that for Meg Becker. Seriously, go check out Tasting Sin. And if you don't,
you're missing out.
Be disappointed in
you. It's so good.
Daddy will be disappointed. So I'm really curious about the way that mafias work in general, and how you know, how many organizations are out there that like skirt the authorities for years and years and years, right? So we got to talking to the manager of the hotel that we're staying at. And, you know, we were talking about things to do in Kansas City. And he's like, well, this is, you know, Erika's first time to Kansas City. And so he was like, well, where are you going to take her for dinner? And what about all this? Blah, blah, blah. So we went down a rabbit hole with this guy. Great conversation. And so at one point we started talking about, I don't remember how, but we got on the topic of mafia in Kansas City because he was talking about the Italian restaurant. So then we both were like, excuse me? So is there a piece of me that wants to go to the Italian restaurant and try to see if we can like point out who's who? Yes. And we found out that Kansas City also has a mafia tour.
Yes. Next time that you're in town, we're going to have to because I'm fascinated with that and the lifestyle, but also like, what if we meet someone? What if we go on a date with somebody that's in the mafia? I thought about this as like a younger kid because I'm highly impressionable. I've gotten better, obviously, as an adult, but I'm a pretty impressionable person and I'm very gullible. So I imagine that like with that kind of personality, the fact that I'm not like addicted to drugs or like a heavy drinker because I fell into whatever, you know, and college was great, but thank God that nothing crazy happened, you know, that I'm like addicted to that. But I also like, so anyway, there's just like indicators of my personality that I am gullible and I do trust people far too quickly, far too deeply, very quickly. So like, not even gonna look at you. Could that person like easily that conversation that we had earlier where you're like, I'm being mean to you because I love you. I am the same.
Yes.
Also, you have freckles right now and they're so fucking cute.
Thanks. Do I really?
Yeah.
Cool.
You and I have the same, like...
I know they're like little guys. It's
too.
Mostly when I get like sun access. In the wintertime, you can't see that shit.
No. I love my freckles and I'm like, can you see them? And people will be like, no. I'm like, that's too bad because I know they're there and they're fucking adorable.
It's like magic.
Yes.
Like, if you're not magical enough, you can't see my freckles.
Yes. If you don't believe in them, they're not there.
Correct. But like, am I gullible enough or trusting enough for someone to like snake into my life and get attached with their talons and then I'm all of a sudden a mob wife and not really realizing it? But I'm also strong-willed, very strong-willed and wildly fucking stubborn. So any fucking Italian out there, good luck. Because finger guns.
I love a finger gun. I can't
stand when I do it. When other people do it, I'm like, you're adorable. But when I do it, it just doesn't look natural. And I'm like,
I mean, you are talking to a grown adult. This is whoopsie daisy sometimes. So,
well, I just if that were to be a possible relationship at any point in time, I want that person to know. If you're listening to this, obviously,
future husband,
I want you to know that like.
Or sugar daddy, whatever.
Questions. I'm sorry. You have a gun in the bedroom for what purpose? Why? I'm sorry. We have someone in a sedan following us going to church on Sunday, which we wouldn't do.
I would not do.
Like what? I'm sorry. I have questions. And I'm not the person to be like, oh, I'm just going to sit back and take it. No.
See,
even when I was married, I asked questions.
I will ask questions. My problem is that I will also accept the answers that you give me. That is factual. That is my
problem.
Yeah, like I'll be like
too trusting.
Yeah, I'll be like, why? Again,
ask me a question.
Who did you go out with on Saturday?
Oh, that was just my brother and his wife. Yeah, it was just my brother and his wife.
Was it?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I took them to Grande's, the Mexican place. His wife really likes margaritas.
Except she lives in Hawaii.
Yeah, she's in town for the weekend.
No, she's not.
Yes, she is. No, she's not. See, this is you being like, I'm so gullible. I would accept any answer and you're fucking arguing with me. Let me win.
Yes, but it's because I know all these things about you.
Yes.
And I know that
about other people. And also social media is a thing. And also
But if you had said I went out with Mr. O I would be like, not that guy again.
Rewind. Ask me a question as if I'm the person you're dating.
Oh, okay.
You're right. My brother and his wife do. But they were in town last weekend. Dumb bitch. They were in Iowa. So I wasn't lying, but I didn't have dinner with them.
Okay. What are you doing on Saturday?
Oh, I'm bringing flowers over to my mom's house.
Okay. That's exactly how that would go.
When really, I'm taking an assload of drugs in the trunk of my car across state lines to bring to my other.
Yeah.
I'm not actually doing that. That is a
joke.
That was a
for legal reasons. That is a joke. For real, that's a joke though. Could you imagine?
Oh my God.
But like seriously, if you're like, I'll be like, oh, you're so sweet to your mom. No part of me would be like, because think about the amount of times. Also,
did I just psychologically manipulate you because I know that you like flowers? So the fact that the person that you would be dating has the audacity to actually buy flowers on a regular basis.
Yes. See? And if I am anything, it's easy to manipulate. I like to pretend like I'm not, but once I'm attached, that's it.
Yeah, and that's like
that's my problem.
Sorry, I'm sending a video. The issue too is that I know that I'm gullible and I know that being manipulated is something that I don't want, yet I still allow it to happen. And then after the fact, I'm like, oh, I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it.
Well, it's like how many times, especially like I did this all the time, even like secretly knowing, but also like not wanting to know, like not wanting confirmation because then I would have to do something about it.
Yes.
That whole like, oh, I was working late. It's like, okay. Like, yeah. Makes total sense.
You work late all the time.
Yeah.
So the fact that, why would they lie about that? They wouldn't, because they work late all the time.
Yeah. So I think that's part of it, but also like it should have damaged my ability to trust people, which it has and it hasn't. Like I'm still going to believe everything you say. I'm still just going to always assume that I have to prove my worth to you.
Yes.
Which
is gross.
Yeah.
Gross.
What's even more gross is that there are people who love it and take advantage of it, and that sucks. And then there are people who don't.
Which is lovely.
But like finding those people is hard.
That split personality of me that's like when someone is nice and treats me right, I'm like, why? Why aren't you manipulating me? Why are you being so nice to me? What makes me... Why? And I question it, which is also a problem.
Yes, I question it, but it's not like, why are you being so nice? Like, I do a little bit, like, why are you being so nice to me? Like, what do you expect me to give you in return? Or how are you manipulating me and I just can't see it? Like, what is the way you are manipulating me because I can't see, like, there's something I'm clearly missing.
We have talked about this where my ex, I would question when he was being nice to me because it would happen not often at all. And then find out either a day or two later or even the same day within the same 20 minutes that he was being nice to me because something was happening that he was a part of, or he was going to get something in return as a transaction, social contract of whatever type that it was. And so that's my biggest kind of like trigger when people are nice to me, and I'm like, I look at them and I'll do it on purpose to a sarcastic level, but I'll do it on purpose and be like, why? What do you want from me? I'm also coming from a job that every single person that comes up to my desk wants something, and 99% of the time they come up and they don't say, and I'm a manners person. I'm very much a manners person. It's also how I was raised, but it's also how I want to be treated, and I want to treat other people. So if someone comes up comes up to me, and it happens all the time at work, especially at work, because I'm there 60 hours a week, right?
Yes.
Well, 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
They come up to me and they're like, "Hey, I have a question. I need this, 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 and this. Can you help me with that?"
Mm-hmm.
And I just did it to one of our new students, and I'm like, I grabbed his arm and I said, "Oh my God, hi, how are you? Good morning." And I had that facial expression where I'm like,
you.
"Hello." And he immediately was like, I'm going to redo that. He left the office for 2 seconds and then came back and he was like, "Good morning. How are you?" And I'm like, "Hi." "Hello." We're recording.
We're actually recording.
Say hi? We actually are still pretending to do it after all this time, and I have no idea. Come on this side.
Yeah.
Trisha Otis, everyone. Hello.
Hi. This is a real thing.
We are real.
Yes, it's excellent.
Well, Erika, I was questioning if you were actually real or not.
That's fair.
So I'm delighted to find out you weren't just like an AI person.
Right.
Talking to herself.
Would I do that?
Yes.
Yes.
You
creatures. Everybody did a little mental breakdown of you.
Yes. Grippy sock vacation, please.
Speaking of mental breakdown, how are you?
Awful, because after I left last night and I went home, my car decided to overheat. And so I had to abandon it last night at Vanessa's house. And then her husband took me home. And then now my husband, he's working until 6. So I was like, this is your problem to deal with. I don't know how you're going to go get my car and make sure it's not falling apart. So I woke up like crying for an hour, but we're great.
Your makeup looks fantastic.
Thank you. Can you tell me if it starts like...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do like eyeball checks.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But you know what? We're here. It's great. I have an Alani Nu. I took an edible. We're going to have a good time. It's good. Yeah.
Love that for you.
Good vibes only. I'll cry tomorrow.
Yes.
Same.
Tomorrow's Mother's Day, so I'm allowed to cry as much as I want.
Yes. It's
also,
your party. You can cry if you want to.
My husband is going to take me to the garden center tomorrow, and then I'm going to come home, and my kid and him are going to help me weed the garden and plant my strawberries.
Yes. Love that for you.
So anyways, I'm going to go do business girl stuff.
Yes.
Bus. VP of KC Bookbeat. Y'all.
She is wonderful.
Truly.
Today is for disassociating.
Speaking of, don't let me forget to take my medication. Because I need that in order to function.
I might be able to do that because I already took mine.
Accountability, bitches.
I know.
Everyone needs an accountability partner that isn't AI
or
trying to catfish.
You're such a bitch.
I had to.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Has he responded?
No.
Of course he hasn't.
He's also fishing.
Oh, ironic that he is also fishing.
I hate you.
Oh.
Am I going to tell him to listen to this episode to like shame him a little bit?
Yes.
But when
yes,
and everything's fine,
then you can prove me wrong. He can prove me wrong.
Yeah.
No, there's nothing that you will do. He has to prove me wrong. Also, that also means that he has to appear in person. Shocking. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. I like how you're not saying I'm sorry into the mic. Oh my God. You can't get the
I know. It wasn't even matter this. Prove that.
Fair
I'm
enough.
sorry. Genuinely. But also not sorry.
Mm-hmm. I was not expecting that to be coffee. I was expecting that to be water. Anyway.
So let's wrap this.
Yes.
So today, guys, I know we have talked in 8 circles. Lit Libations. Lit Libations is happening today. Literally, everyone is coming in and starting to set up.
Mm-hmm.
We are recording author promos today. A ton of people have signed up. Not just the Google form, but also I looked on the collaboration Facebook page. They put an additional, Casey Bookbeat put an additional post up to promo that, hey, we're doing this. And a whole bunch of comments came in. So I responded to those yesterday and this morning. Super excited about this. So we do need to end this so that we have enough upload time because we have a problem. But today's going to be great. And I will say that, like, I was here for the fall event and fall was incredible. There were so many people and the conversations were incredible. Even if for us, it's a flop, we still are recording in person. You're here for the weekend. It's an incredible event. We have a whole setup. We have marketing material that's absolutely beautiful.
We have t-shirts that are fantastic.
We're gonna be posting so much this weekend and the next week. But on a very real, I'm just thankful that we've made it this far.
Me too.
And I swear to God, I feel like we do this once a month where we just have one of those sentimental moments. But the fact that we've come this far in a year, we passed over our year anniversary. We've come this far. It's been about a year and a half in the making. And we're consistent with ADHD, with depression, with anxiety. I don't know how that's possible.
And your mom died.
Yes. But there's all
I got divorced.
There's all of these emotional turmoil things that are happening. And yes, that is life. And we are understaffed, but we're still making it happen and working full time. And with the current government status, everything is just kind of weird. And there's all these things going on. We're still making it happen. And this is our hobby. Because hobbies, if you look at the grand scheme of things, hobbies you can nix from your schedule. Hobbies you can kick off of the roster because you have actual adult things to do. But we have it. And I'm super pumped in a sense of this is it is absolutely one of my favorite hobbies of all time. And I was part of the podcast world before Erika came on. And so now I've brought her into the fold and I feel I feel proud of that, and I'm glad that you have the same enthusiasm that I do. But also we are recording in 2 different states, 2 different time zones, and we're still managing to have social media on a regular basis. We're still managing to have weekly episodes. And we managed to put for us, we managed to put our whole booth together, including additional marketing material. And our whole goal is to market indie authors without any expectation of return.
I was reading an article, because Sarah and I are like this. We constantly read about how to market a podcast, how to do podcasts better. Let's do because we're like that. I was listening to one, they're like, oh, the best way to start a podcast is to record the ideal amount of episodes to have banked is 12. And I was like, 12? What the fuck is wrong with me? I was like, must be nice. We've never had 12.
I think most we've had 4.
Yeah.
That I wasn't already in the process of editing.
Yeah.
12.
I know. 12.
That would be
insane. Crazy.
I don't even know what that would look like.
No, me neither.
We were already talking yesterday, game planning is if we didn't make it in to the event center early enough today, all right, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Because we brought swimsuits. We wanted to use the pool at the hotel. We can do that tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
But well, if we get up early enough. But
we were like, no.
That was excellent.
Top tier.
But we were talking yesterday about if we don't get a chance to record before the actual event starts tomorrow, that's fine. That just means that we're going to have to knock it out Monday or Wednesday. We are also now affiliates of Primal Queen. So we are very pumped to talk about these freeze-dried hormones. And they're specifically made for women's bodies, which is so exciting. Me personally, I noticed that not that I need more energy, but I've noticed that my energy levels are great. I've also noticed that bloating has
been
not
way less,
entirely gone away, but been way less. So I'm really excited about that. And then there's people that I work with in the office that they've had really good return on one lady in the office, she's been spotting quite a bit and it has gone away. Another lady, she's been on it for 8 months and she's just she's working on her diet and working out a lot too, but you can tell that she slimmed down a little bit and she's a huge fan. So I'm very excited about that as an affiliation with them. And then, of course, forever trying to pump people up about, printing services and sharing their photos and their videos, because everything we have is stored on our phone. How many times do you run out of storage on your phone, and then you have to figure out like, oh, well, this picture, this one can go, this video can go, blah, blah, blah. But with Forever, you don't have to worry about it, and it's permanent storage, which is really great. So anyway, we have all of these really, really cool things going on a year after basically in the making, and we're still consistent, and we're still excited about it, and we're here.
Yeah. When we first started this, it was like, what we wanted was to maintain our friendship in a better way than we were. And now we have all of this stuff, and we also kind of like, I think we were like, we don't have this and we want it, and we sort of knew that there was like a need for like the things that we had to say and like our experiences and like our sense of humor and stuff. But I don't think we realized how much people would like it and how much people needed it. Because people tell me all the time, they're like, you make me feel like I'm not alone. Like, you guys are really good about showing the unfiltered side of life and
of living.
Yeah, like it's never perfect and it's never good, and it just makes me feel like, like it's okay to be imperfect, and that to me is so great. Because how many times, especially being military spouses, how many times have you like had a job and you have to like show up for your partner, and you have to like do all these things and coordinate all this stuff, and you have to go to work, and you have to show up because it's not just you that it's reflecting on, it's you and your spouse, and then you're like, and then your spouse is gone all the time, and you're like,
doctor's appointments and dentist appointments.
And you're doing all of that alone on top of not having any emotional intimacy, and it's awful.
And no family to lean on.
Yep.
Or initially, especially when you first PCS somewhere, not having any of that initial like military family in the area, or you might know that one acquaintance from forever ago, but they're not someone that you can lean on to drive you home after a hysterectomy.
Yeah.
They're not someone that you can... Now, if you called them, like if somebody called me and I knew them for 10 minutes, 100%, I will drive you home. 100%. But not everybody does that.
No.
And go ahead.
Yeah. But it's the same, like, not... Because we did not have that, and we didn't have each other during that whole time.
Yes.
And being able to give a little bit of that to other people is just the best, because if I had that, I feel like I would have made different choices or trusted myself a little bit more. Not that I regret anything, but like if I at least had been more sure of myself and been like, wow, like I'm actually not failing and everything. This is actually how everyone feels.
Correct.
That would have been so much better for my mental health.
Yes. And having that community, like having any kind of community that is surrounding, that is at all supportive or at all helpful, even if it's someone to just lean on for some text messages, or, like we used to live in a stairwell apartment building. And so even if that person across the hall was like, hey, do you want to come over for dinner? Because my spouse was gone, or TDY or whatever, right? And it's kind of like, it's not necessarily that I would take them up every time if they offered, but the fact that they not necessarily went out of their way, but they're literally inviting someone who initially is a complete stranger over for dinner because they know that you're alone. That's huge. That is massive. And you can find that in any community, military or not. It just, you also have to have the personality to be open to that. And not everybody is either. And that's okay too. Right. But the fact that like we were able to stay in touch from the book club. Also, she hooked me up with Becca, our nail lady, and I still see her every like month, and she's wonderful. But like the fact that we made that connection, and we both love to read, we're both huge fans of it. We're both huge fans of indie authors, and then all of a sudden we were like, "You mean we should add another hobby to our plate? We should start a podcast
from 2 different states."
From 2 different states, we hadn't seen each other in 9 months or so. Well, no, I guess we did see each other a couple months before you PCS, but you were crazy. It was for like 10 minutes.
Yeah. And when I spent the night at your house when I went back for my recital.
That was 9 months before, because that was like March or April timeframe.
Yeah.
And then we decided that December that we were going to do the show. So yeah, it was a hot minute.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this on a previous episode too, but even at that point, we were maybe texting like every 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
To just say hi.
Yeah.
And then actually talk on the phone like every 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
Minimum.
Yeah.
So, which isn't a problem. That happens with a lot of friends too. And one thing that I'll shut up after this. So
we're going to wrap this up.
Yes.
10 minutes ago.
That I do appreciate about like adult friendships too is like, because I used to get really upset of like, especially with friends, that if you aren't keeping in touch with me on a regular basis, then why am I even putting in the effort? Where now I'm much more on like an energy level where I'm like, I want to put so much into our friendship, but I physically can't. Mentally for sure cannot. And so if we don't talk for 6 months, but we pick it up again after that 6 month mark.
Like nothing.
Like no time has gone by. I really appreciate that, because not always am I going to have that mental energy or mental connection with myself in order to make that happen. So now I'm a little bit better, but like, I really, really appreciate that. We were only keeping in touch every couple of months, and now we keep in touch weekly, almost every day.
We text every day.
And now we have a shared hobby. And that's crazy. Not everybody has that connection with people. And like, we're able to make it work. We've also been going for over a year now, and now we're at like an actual event. This is crazy. It's crazy, the fact that we've made it this far, and God knows if we're even going to be there in a year and a half. Even if we stop, I'm not going to harbor any hurt feelings, because this is, at the end of the day, it is a hobby. But like, if we've managed to make it this far, what is that going to look like if we're still doing that in 5 years?
Right.
I honestly get overwhelmed thinking about it. And now I really will shut up. If we ever get to a point that this show, and we hit 30,000 views on YouTube, which is insane, nowhere near close enough to monetize. No, because YouTube is a whole different like ballgame. But the fact that we have made it this far, if we were to ever get to a point that we either had representation or legitimate money coming in, I don't want to do a tour.
No, I don't either.
We are funny. That is correct. But am I a stand-up comedian? No. But would I be interested in like a show like this, or a trade show where we're on the stage and we just like, we literally sit like this and talk with people? I would love to do that maybe like twice a year. Just as like a little treat for whatever city it is. Like Kansas City.
Yeah. Like we go to Kansas City and we literally just talk about random shit.
And Raleigh.
Yeah.
You live there. I live here. Yeah. Like I would be
Honolulu, because we would
go to the beach and skip the show.
Like let's do a show in Iceland,
Australia, Ireland. If we go to Ireland, we have also manifesting. We will go to Scotland for New Year's one year. Props to those of you that have been here since the beginning that know what we're talking about. New Year's traditions in Scotland. So I will shut the fuck up now, because we do actually have to finish putting our booth together. But guys, thank you. Yes. Thank you for being here. Thank you for even giving us a chance. And if we lose listeners, if we go back down to the 4 people that are friends or family members, I'm also okay with that, because at the end of the day, this is a hobby. Yes. So thank you for being here, but also we'd be here if you weren't.
And the people that I have, like my friend Greg, he legitimately loves the podcast. And he's like, what
a peach.
Yes. Like he legitimately likes the podcast, and it's so nice to like have friends. Like obviously he's learned a lot about me because we are yappers. I know. And it's just so nice to like have people that really appreciate that about me. Like they listen to it and they're like, wow, like you are so cool. Like this is such a cool thing. And it's really nice that he legitimately likes it. And like we have people that like aren't just our friends and family that listen to it.
Which is wild. It baffles me every single time. It does. I don't understand.
And also we've been doing it long enough that like now I'm yapping. We'll wrap it eventually.
You're welcome.
Shit.
We've been doing it this long.
Oh, and how much better we've gotten.
Correct.
Like when we have to when we're coming up with new intros or promos or whatever, when we first started, we would read the script and we had to do it 4 or 5 times
over and over again.
And the last time we did one, we were just
fuck it.
And it was great.
Yeah. You know that, what is that meme from Yellowstone where the guy, Kevin Costner, gets up on his horse and he's like, have you guys figured out a plan or are we just gonna, and his horseman is like, or his ranch manager is like, sir, we just figured, fuck it. We'll figure it out. And he goes, fuck it. That's our mantra.
Yeah, it really is.
And I'm okay with it.
Mm-hmm. Which is really funny because we're both control freaks and we're like, what do you mean you don't have a plan? But the two of us were like, yeah, it's fine.
But also there's that trust factor.
That's
my
true.
God, the number of conversations we can't go down this rabbit hole, even though this is an Alice in Wonderland event. We cannot.
That's it for us, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Like we've already said 1,000 times, but you know what? We're doing our best, guys.
Swear to God.
But thank you so much. We are at Lit Libations in Kansas City for Casey Book Beat. We're so excited to be here. We will be running a lot of promos for indie authors, and we're so fucking excited about that.
Yep.
Primal Queen. We have in our link tree, we have our link. If you want to you get 25% off every single order.
Absolutely.
So definitely check that out. We've been on it for a while. We really like it. It's made for women specifically. You dumb bitch. Not Sarah, not even holding her mic.
The last 3 minutes, I'm like, yeah, that's really great.
Anyway, Primal Queen, great. Link is on our link tree. Merch is on our link tree. We have so many things. And as always,
we forget about the book club.
We have a book club that we totally remember
every
to do
single month.
Every month, because we have ourselves together. This month, don't look at me like that.
I was trying not to laugh out loud while you were talking.
Rude.
Can we also talk about how there's a whole bunch of people in here side-eyeing us, what the fuck is actually happening? Because we're just talking to ourselves with seemingly mics in our hands and not actually doing anything legitimate. And so
is this a real podcast? You'll never know. Anyway, this month's book for May, because I know how months work. It's Things Overshared by Kelsey Humphreys. I picked this book.
True.
The thing that I love is it's called Things Overshared, which is great.
Things I overshared, because you know how to read.
I do know how to read. Yes. Things I Overshared, but it's an extrovert introvert romantic comedy, which I thought was great. So yeah,
and on a very real level, I drove to Des Moines the other night to pick up the photo booth, and I started listening to it because I adulted. I made adult decisions, and I decided not to scream sing for 7 hours because that's what I do on road trips. And so I downloaded the audiobook to start listening to this. I relate so much with the MC that it hurt my feelings over and over again. And I was like, of course Erika would do this to me. Of course she would hurt my feelings with this month's book. Thank you.
We say it all the time. That is a pillar of our friendship.
That's true.
A load-bearing pillar of our friendship is that we hurt each other's feelings. How many times have you hurt my feelings today? She's so mean to me.
I am, first of all, I'm not mean to you.
You are. You tell me the truth constant. Let me live in my delusions.
Friendship is based on delusional ideations. So what am I doing? Actually,
Then why are you pulling me out of them? Let me live in my psychosis.
She says, I've never actually. We have to heal. Guys, thank you for being here. We have to go.
We love you, and without you, we would be potting into the void.
Correct.